What's going on, people? Chris is joining me again for his meniscus vlog recovery video.
When do I get to roll?
When did Chris gets to roll when he can do a single leg RDL without looking like he's gonna fall over.
I'm not sure I could ever do that.
He can't, no he can't because he can do it on the other leg. So, Chris, we are how many days out post-op?
18, I think.
18 days post-op. Chris still has good quad activation. He was actually able to go hiking against my judgment, opinion, I don't know.
I think you told me not to go.
Yeah, pretty much. And he decided he was gonna go anyways. He killed it, he did well, he had a little swelling, but walking up and down hills on unsteady surfaces.
With a pack.
With a pack. Probably not the best idea. But, so he's got a little bit of swelling in the knee, not too bad. We had taped it for swelling, and I'll show you guys a video on that as well. So I kind of assessed Chris, and I'll show you guys kind of what I did. I wanted to make sure his range of motion was full in his knee, make sure his quad activation was still nice and full and strong. So let's do that real quick. So first thing I checked was making sure Chris's quad was nice and strong. What I mean by that is he can make a nice strong muscle. So I tell him to push down, and I feel his muscle feels nice and strong and kind of like solid, so that's a good thing. Compare those to both sides. The other thing I did with Chris was I assessed his flexibility. So his range of motion pretty much gets close to zero, and then his bend is pretty much full. It's symmetrical to his other leg. He does have a little bit of swelling in here, no problem, we'll work on that. You know, a little ice, a little taping, a little range of motion will help. So let's assess Chris's flexibility. So let's see how his hamstring tightness is. So let's lay down. So bend both knees, good. So we'll check his other leg first. And what you want to do is a 90-90 stretch. You want to be about within 25 degrees or 15 degrees of straight. So if his leg was all the way straight, which is not, that would be 0 degrees. So he's about, I'd say, 25-30 degrees, something around there. So it's a little tight on this one. Let's go and check the other one. Same thing, 90-90 means 90 degrees at the hip, and then we start at 90 at the knee. We keep in that position, then we go up. So right there you can see Chris is a little bit tighter, so we're gonna do a stretch to address that tightness, because that can affect some of his mobility and some of his movement. So that's one thing. There's a couple other stretches I have for hamstring flexibility, stretch matrix video, you can check that one out. I'm gonna check Chris's piriformis as well, which is kind of his hip muscle. And the way I do that is I see how close he can get his knee to his opposite shoulder. So he already feels a stretch there. Again, I'd say it's probably moderately tight. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's hard for you guys to see, so we may show you from another direction. This way, he's also pretty tight, so we're gonna do a stretch for this one. The last one I want to do is check his quads. So let's lay it on your stomach. We're gonna assess your quad flexibility. We're gonna assess Chris's quad on his right. We're seeing how close his heel can go towards his butt. He's getting a little bit of stretch here, pretty close. And let's check his other side. A little more distance there. So one thing, the way people will compensate is they'll lift their hips up, so make sure their hips are nice and low to the mat. So Chris has got a little bit of tightness in the legs, so we're gonna address those with 3 simple stretches that you can do, really easy stretches to do for meniscus surgeries and surgeries in general. So, good. First one we're gonna do is the long sitting stretch. So, this one. If you can, sit with your legs straight, sit up nice and tall. If you can get in this position, this is a good stretch for you to do. There's some other modifications, but start this way. So if Chris feels a stretch already, great. If not, what you're gonna do is keep your back flat, bend forward, try to stay a little straighter, good. And you don't want to bounce. Again, we're not really doing this to prime the muscles, so we can do more of a relaxed stretch, 20-30 seconds, 3 to 4 times. We're not really trying to do this in order to activate the muscles too much. So 3 or 4 times. Stretch 2 is going to be our piriformis stretch. There's new ways to do this one. A really easy one for Chris to do is bringing the knee to the opposite shoulder or the opposite hip. So start here. This is a good relaxed position for your back. Rest his knee there. and you're gonna pull kind of opposite to the shoulder. Make sure, be mindful of torquing your knee. Don't pull on your knee too bad or on your shin. You can kind of hold where it's comfortable so that way you don't torque your shin. That's another thing to do. 3 times, 4 times, 20, 30 seconds, great stretch. Last one, Chris is pretty tight in his quads, so the muscles in the front. So we're gonna do a stretch using our Jiu-Jitsu belt. Easy way, put a little loop in your belt, put it around your foot, right here. Again, belly in, back flat. Bring that stretch 20, 30 seconds, 3 or 4 times. Get a good stretch. One thing that I'm gonna correct Chris on, come back for me, Chris. Keep everything in line. Keep your knee and hip, everything in line with your body. You don't want your leg to flare out or anything like that. That's gonna put a little undue torque on your knee. You don't want that. Also be mindful, keep the hips relaxed. Don't arch up.
You're just supposed to feel it in your quad.
Yep. Do you feel your quad?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's it. For the last time, we did some just gait exercises. We're gonna work on the hips. Now, if it's too much torque on your knees, tap it around your ankles, then bring up to right around your thighs, okay, right around your knees there. That'll be a little easier, won't be as difficult due to the shorter lever arm. This way, a little longer lever arm. Chris has pretty good strength, pretty good stability, so he's gonna do some lateral walks to show you guys 20, 30 steps. Try not to lean, so stay tall. More time, so you're kind of leaning. Mm-hmm. One thing that you want to watch for is the side bending, so you kind of stay tall. Keep your hips in the same position, just like that. Good. Perfect. Modify your steps, you don't have to make them so long. Then we'll do your diagonal stepping next. So again, those work the glutes and the hip abductors. Again, these are going to work your hip flexors, hip abductors, and the other one's going to work your glute max. So we're going to do diagonal stepping. Perfect. 20, 30 steps. So sumo walks are really a good balance exercise. They're also a good strengthening exercise for your glutes and even your hamstrings and your glute max and glute med. So here, you want to be careful not to twist. Up, out, back, and then step together. Reposition, we're going up, out, back, step together. That's how you're going to control yourself. Make sure not to twist our feet together. Up, out, back. Get them step together. Reset. Make sure most of the movement comes from the hip and not the knee or the foot. So essentially, you're here, here, and back. This leg stays straight the whole time. This leg is kind of turned a 45-degree angle. All I'm gonna do is step together. I'm gonna reset. So up, out, back. Directional change is really light, so it's just kind of almost like a quick little step. So we're gonna do a quick step. Just a quick little step. So, yep. You're not really running. Both feet are on the ground, but you're trying to be light on your toes. I think Chris is probably ready to do some pretty basic lifts. Deadlift squats. We're just gonna use PVC pipe just to work on mechanics. Through your knees. Down. Good, that's good. Plenty. Come back up. Alright. Good. Now let's do your squats. So look for equal weight shift. That looks good. Okay. So single leg RDLs. Good. Come up. Is that easier? Does that bother at all? Good. Stay a little straighter if you can. Good. Alright, turn this way. Let's do it. Watch how your knee tracks. Make sure everything kind of tracks equally and straight and in line. Perfect. So, Chris is 18 days out. We just kind of ran through our stuff. Our third set or fourth set of exercises, what did you think as far as,
You know,
how's your knee feeling?
I think I'm still making progress. Maybe did too much this week. Feel a little less stable.
Golfed.
I did play golf.
Hiked.
Hiked.
Probably a bunch of other shit you didn't tell us.
That's not really working out.
Old man's working out.
Yeah.
So Chris said he did have a little, you feel like a little swelling in the knee?
A little puffy, but the biggest thing, despite thinking I was helping myself by doing more, I think I went backwards with stability.
So a little bit of tightness in the knee, we're gonna work on flexibility.
Yep.
Work a little bit of strengthening and like controlled planes, nothing really quick directional changes or anything like that. So Chris is gonna go at it for a week with this, see how he does, and then he's probably gonna ask me if he can roll.
Chicago ankle.
Chicago ankle, probably not gonna happen, but maybe getting closer.
Yeah.
If I loop choke you, you can't train.
Flimsy collar. Thanks, you.
Dude, you're killing it, Chris, I'm telling you.